I wanted to make this quick video, and this is something that's been on my mind, and I've mentioned it in other videos before. We're just going to do a quick drive around the property a little bit. When I first got my house, and even getting out of my my 20s, I started to do the calculations of just a mortgage, a 30-year mortgage. A lot of people say just go 15, or do an extra $100 a month or something like that on your mortgage so that you can turn it into a 15 or cut a couple years off and save a lot of money in the overall grand scheme of things in terms of how much you pay in interest and all that. Now we go into my middle yard. We can't get to my backyard because I do not have the vehicle nor the path for that. But our future in a lot of ways has been taken from us, and to be very honest, willingly. It has been given away because of student loan debt, consumer debt, your credit cards and things like that. Wanting to buy the latest and greatest, even myself, in a lot of different ways. In some cases, of course, a bad business deal or two. Not running your business the way it should be ran as an actual business. But a lot has been taken from us. Not just our financial decisions, but our socialization and how we've been actually raised, and how we've been raised to think, how we've been programmed in a lot of ways. The fact that a lot of people in my own age group, a millennial, I'm 36, will never, ever own a property or even have the long-term rental, as I call it, mortgage, as other people call it, you know, because it ain't yours until you pay it off. And even then, you still have to pay taxes. A lot of people will not be able to experience that, and even experience paying the actual property off. My father included, who's currently going to be 70, I believe, this year. He will not pay the property that he currently lives in off. He knows this. He's like, I don't give a fuck. It's not going to be mine, because of the divorce that he actually went through with my mom. Even my own mother. She currently lives with me, which is what was planned. She's done a lot for me, so it's no problem to take her in, except for, you know, she just gets on my nerves, but it is what it is on that. I'd rather her be by my side and knowing the living shit out of me than somewhere and not knowing, you know, she's okay. But, and I will admit, it's gotten a little bit better. But a lot of this stuff has been robbed from us. We don't have, and I want to say robbed, but the thing is, we're doing it willingly. So I have to admit that part too. And hopefully I don't get stuck in my own damn backyard. But a lot of this stuff has been given up by us in a lot of ways. To think, by the time if you're in your 30s, getting your first home, me at 35, getting my first home, if I'm living at my means and I can pay my mortgage for the next 30 years, I'm looking at 65 years fucking old before I'm going to be able to pay off a property. Think about that. You mean to tell me I have to work or make sure I have proper retirement in place and so on and so forth so that I could actually pay off this property in 30-something years? By myself, by the way. No help, no secondary income or anything else like that. I'm not asking my mom for anything because she didn't really ask me for much of anything when I lived with her. And I don't plan on asking her for anything. In fact, I am almost thinking about getting another property so I can get her out of my damn house. But think about that. A lot of this stuff should have happened in our 20s. The term for this, as I know it, is arrested development. Or a hindrance or a blockage or some type of retardation, if you will, or stagnation. We as millennials and young people have been programmed in such a way that we are willingly giving up the things that other people fought so hard for. Not just civil rights, but just anybody in America that came before us in terms of quote unquote forefathers, you know, whether, you know, you agree with the race and everything else like that. And it is what it is. Those are the laws that we live under. But in terms of even things that people fought for in civil rights, we willingly give up, especially as black millennials. We willingly give this up. As just Americans, period, we willingly give up a lot of our actual future earning potential. We give up so much in terms of what we can do, in terms of what we can afford, just so we can, in some cases, impress other people for one reason or another, whether you agree about that or not. To think, we give up all of this. We give up the opportunity to even get a piece of the American dream. A glimpse at it, if anything, would be the proper way to phrase that. A glimpse of the American dream, a piece of the American pie, a piece of property or land or something. I'm talking to guys that are out here, one company where the grandson is working for his grandfather's plumbing company. Talking to another gentleman today. His great-grandfather started the electrical company that he works for. He just brought, I think, his grandfather's 60-acre property. Now, I don't mean to put the guy's business out here, but we have to think about this. I mean, this guy seems like he's a little bit younger than me, and he's sitting on 60 acres. And me at 35, finally getting out here to actually get my own little piece. A piece that I enjoy immensely. A piece that I'm actually trying to improve and do better with and what have you. You know, there's a lot of people that will not have access to this whatsoever. To think 30 years from now, if everything goes right, nothing happens in terms of any problems or anything else like that, that I could say this is mine and all I owe are taxes and insurance. I have to work for 30 more years. I've already worked through my 20s, and now I'm in my 30s, and you're telling me the goal line, the finish line of any sort is when I'm actually starting to look at, we're classically speaking, or statistically speaking, I should say. Statistically speaking is when I start to really deteriorate and become, and have to retire. So I can only really, quote unquote, enjoy this property, which, I mean, you can enjoy it all throughout, but I can only really enjoy the freedom of this property in terms of, hey, this is mine until I'm 60-something years old. And a lot of people are in this, and a lot of people aren't even in this situation because they don't even own a property even in their 30s. They don't even start the process of buying a home or a condo, and that condo is just an apartment that you have a mortgage on. That's just how I feel about it. Y'all can look at it however you want. This is what I like, and this is what I prefer, and this is what I got. This is sinister. These are the things that we as men fight for in this space passionately. We talk about on a regular basis. We try to game our brothers up on this. Excuse me. Excuse me. We try to game our brothers up on this. We try to tell others, you know, hey, listen, these are the pitfalls. We try to show them, hey, these are the things that you want to actually try to avoid so you don't run into the same problems that I'm running into or have ran into in the past. These are the things that we're supposed to be teaching our brothers in this space and telling them, hey, listen, man, don't do this. Watch out. Be careful. So on and so forth. It really pisses me off when I think about that. It really pisses me off in the grand scheme of things, knowing that at 60-something years old, I could be like my mother or my father. MGTOW retirement at all costs. Accept it, prepare for it, plan for it, and ensure that it happens. Please, my brothers out there, teach other brothers about this. Talk to them. Let them know they need to always have something that is theirs. They don't need to be paying all their lives these exorbitant costs. You know, people always talking about rent for life, you know, renting is better and so on and so forth. You don't have to deal with this. We've been programmed as millennials to literally give up willingly our rights, the things that should be ours, are a piece of something that is ours. We've been programmed to give this shit up willingly just so we can have a car with a nice emblem. Oh, I want a foreign. Bitch, that could be a Toyota. I want the best clothes. Motherfucker, go to Walmart. Shit's decent enough. I got shirts that are older than my damn nephew, and they were just like regular Gildan tees or whatever. Or I don't know what the name of that t-shirt company is. It's crazy the level of programming that we all have to face and fight, that we all have to endure. And I beg you all to do what you can and do what you need to do to ensure that you get your own peace and that it's yours, that you could pass it down to your family members. Even as a MGTOW, I still want children. I still will take that risk because it's great. The risk is, to me, worth it, and it's greater than me, and it's greater than the BS that we all have to deal with. Even if it's maybe doing some type of what are they, the thing, I forgot what they call it, man, surrogacy. Anyways, with that being said, please talk to other people. Let them know that their piece of the quote-unquote pie is out there and they shouldn't ask for it. They need to demand it. They need to do everything in their power to ensure that they get it. Plain and simple. With that being said, as always, I love you all and I wish you all the best. And I hope that you're on this journey as well. Imagine 60 years old before you can really sit down and rest up. We're going to have to move that time schedule up. MGTOW retirement. Peace.